The Book of Enoch is one of the most enigmatic and mysterious texts in religious history. For centuries, it remained hidden, excluded from most versions of the Bible, leaving many to wonder. Why? What secrets does it hold, and why was it kept from the public eye? Unlike the familiar books of Genesis or Exodus, the Book of Enoch was considered too controversial, too strange, or perhaps too revealing to be included in the biblical canon. This ancient text, attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah, delves into stories that blur the line between the earthly and the divine, the natural and the supernatural. It speaks of angels, giants, divine judgments, and forbidden knowledge, narratives that captivate the imagination and stir curiosity. Yet, for most people, its very existence remains a mystery, only known to scholars, theologians, and a few curious readers. But what makes the Book of Enoch so intriguing? Is it the vivid depictions of fallen angels and their union with humans? The haunting prophecies of future judgment? Or perhaps the insights into the cosmic battle between good and evil? Whatever it is, the book holds a unique place in history, shaping early religious thought and influencing both Judaism and Christianity, all while remaining in the shadows, almost forgotten. In this video, we will uncover the secrets and mysteries hidden within the Book of Enoch, exploring its origins, its strange tales of divine beings, and the prophecies that still resonate with us today. Join us as we journey into one of the most fascinating texts ever written, one that offers a glimpse into ancient beliefs, divine rebellion, and a world beyond the one we know. The origins of the Book of Enoch take us deep into ancient times, where mythology, history, and religious thought blended together. Traditionally attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah, this book claims to offer first-hand accounts of visions and journeys beyond the physical world. But did Enoch, a figure mentioned briefly in the Bible, truly author this mysterious text? Or does it come from later traditions that sought to expand on his legendary life? The book was likely composed between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE, in the period known as Second Temple Judaism, a time when Jewish thought was rich with mystical ideas and cosmic speculation. It is believed to have been written by multiple authors over time, compiling stories and visions attributed to Enoch, who, according to Genesis, walked with God and was taken up to heaven without experiencing death. This unique closeness to the divine made Enoch an ideal figure to convey secret wisdom and prophetic insight. The text itself was originally written in Aramaic, Hebrew, and later translated into Greek, before largely surviving in the Ethiopian Guizi language, where it was preserved by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. For centuries, much of the Western world was unaware of its existence until its rediscovery in the late 18th century. But why was the Book of Enoch not included in most biblical canons? The answer lies in its content, filled with stories of divine beings known as the Watchers, fallen angels who descended to earth and corrupted humanity. These fantastical narratives may have been seen as too far removed from the established religious orthodoxy. Early Jewish and Christian leaders might have viewed it as controversial, too speculative, or even dangerous in its depiction of heavenly rebellion and judgment. Despite its exclusion from the official Bible, the Book of Enoch profoundly influenced early Jewish mysticism and even left a mark on the New Testament. It is directly referenced in the Epistle of Jude and was known by early Christian thinkers such as Tertullian and Origen. Enoch's visions of angels, the cosmos, and the coming judgment echoed themes that would later be reflected in Christian apocalyptic thought. The authorship and origins of the Book of Enoch remain somewhat of a mystery. What we do know is that it draws from deep wells of ancient tradition, offering a unique glimpse into the spiritual landscape of the time, where the boundaries between heaven and earth seemed thin, and figures like Enoch were seen as key holders to the divine mysteries. In the Book of Enoch, one of the most compelling and chilling aspects is the story of the Watchers. Angels who descended from heaven and forever altered the course of humanity. These celestial beings, sent to observe and guide mankind, instead became seduced by earthly desires, breaking their divine oath. They didn't just fall from grace. They brought forbidden knowledge to the world, knowledge that would have devastating consequences. The Watchers, also known as the Sons of God, became enamored with human women and, defying God's will, took them as wives. From these unions, a race of giants was born, The Nephilim. These half-divine, half-human beings were not only physically massive but also spiritually corrupt, becoming symbols of chaos and violence. But the sin of the Watchers went deeper than their forbidden relationships. These fallen angels introduced humanity to secrets meant to remain hidden. They taught people the arts of war, the crafting of weapons, and the manipulation of nature's resources for destructive purposes. They revealed the mysteries of magic, astrology, and other esoteric knowledge that gave humans the power to influence the natural and supernatural realms. The knowledge, while powerful, was dangerous. It opened the door to moral corruption, greed, and the misuse of power. This act of rebellion against the divine order had catastrophic effects, not just for the Watchers, but for all of humanity. Their influence accelerated the corruption of mankind, which spiraled into an age of wickedness and violence, leading directly to God's decision to cleanse the earth through the Great Flood. The Watchers' story is one of ambition, temptation, and the terrible consequences of crossing boundaries set by the divine. It's a tale that has fascinated theologians and mystics for centuries because it touches on themes of rebellion, forbidden knowledge, and the consequences of straying from the path of righteousness. The Watchers, in their fall, reflect humanity's own struggles with temptation and the misuse of power, making their story as relevant today as it was in ancient times. Their punishment, as described in the book of Enoch, was severe. These once glorious beings were cast into the darkest depths, imprisoned in the underworld, awaiting the final judgment. But their legacy lives on in the form of the Nephilim, the corruption they spread, and the forbidden knowledge that, once released into the world, could never be fully contained. The story of the Watchers serves as a warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the pursuit of knowledge without wisdom. It asks a question that still echoes today. What happens when we reach beyond our limits and defy the natural order? The Nephilim, born from the union of fallen angels and human women, are some of the most enigmatic and terrifying figures in ancient religious texts. Described as giants of immense size and strength, they were not just physically powerful, but also spiritually corrupt, representing a profound deviation from God's intended creation. Their existence alone symbolized the breaking of divine order, and their presence on earth left a lasting mark on humanity. In the book of Enoch, the Nephilim are depicted as the direct offspring of the Watchers, those fallen angels who defied God by taking human wives. These beings were not only massive in stature, but their very nature seemed to defy the balance between heaven and earth. Standing between the natural and the supernatural, they were creatures of immense power, but also agents of chaos and destruction. The impact of the Nephilim on the ancient world was catastrophic. They are often described as wreaking havoc across the earth, consuming everything in their path, including human life. Their insatiable hunger and violence led to widespread corruption and devastation. It wasn't just their physical might that made them dangerous. It was the moral corruption they spread, influencing humanity to descend into deeper sin and lawlessness. In some accounts, the Nephilim even battled among themselves, their bloodlust consuming both the earth and its people. Their very existence upset the natural order to such a degree that God saw no choice but to intervene. The Great Flood, as described in the Bible, was not merely a punishment for mankind's sins, but also an attempt to wipe out the Nephilim, whose presence had so deeply corrupted the world. The legacy of the Nephilim continues to fascinate. These beings are often interpreted as symbols of unchecked ambition and the consequences of crossing boundaries set by the divine. Their creation was the result of forbidden knowledge and desires, an example of what happens when beings, whether angelic or human, defy the natural laws that govern existence. What makes the story of the Nephilim so compelling is that it echoes a recurring theme in many ancient myths. The idea that beings of great power, when unchecked, can lead to chaos and ruin. They remind us of the dangers of hubris and the consequences of overreaching, whether through the pursuit of knowledge, power, or forbidden desires. Even though the Nephilim were supposedly destroyed in the flood, their influence lingers in the shadows of history and mythology. Stories of giants, demigods, and fallen beings appear in numerous cultures, suggesting that the fear and fascination surrounding the Nephilim is universal. In the end, the Nephilim represent more than just physical giants. They symbolize the deep spiritual and moral consequences of defying divine law. They are a cautionary tale of the dangers that arise when the natural order is disrupted, and a reminder of the fine line between creation and destruction. In the book of Enoch, we encounter not only stories of fallen angels and their corrupt offspring, but also powerful prophecies that shape the course of human destiny. Enoch, the central figure of the text, is not just a passive observer but a chosen prophet, given visions of divine judgment and the future of the world. His prophecies speak of cosmic battles, the end of the wicked, and the triumph of righteousness, echoing themes that would later appear in biblical apocalyptic literature, including the Book of Revelation. One of the most striking aspects of Enoch's visions is his insight into the coming judgment of both the Watchers and humanity. After witnessing the chaos unleashed by the fallen angels and their offspring, Enoch is taken on a journey through the heavens where he is shown the divine plan to cleanse the world. His prophecies predict that the Watchers, those once glorious angels, will face eternal punishment for their rebellion. Bound in the depths of the earth, they will remain imprisoned until the final day of judgment, when they will be cast into the abyss for eternity. But Enoch's prophecies don't stop with the Watchers. He also foresees a time when humanity itself will be judged. His visions include a great flood, a divine cleansing meant to rid the earth of both the Nephilim and the corrupt humans who have fallen under their influence. This prophecy, of course, foreshadows the biblical story of Noah's Ark and the flood that wipes out nearly all of mankind. For Enoch, the flood is not just a punishment. It is a necessary step in restoring balance to creation. In addition to these visions of destruction, Enoch also sees a future hope. He speaks of the coming of a chosen one, a messianic figure who will bring justice and peace to the world. This figure will judge both the wicked and the righteous, rewarding those who have remained faithful to God and punishing those who have turned away. The prophecy of the chosen one resonates deeply with later Christian beliefs about the Messiah, particularly with the idea of Jesus Christ as the ultimate Savior and Judge. Enoch's visions extend beyond the earth and humanity, reaching into the very fabric of the universe. He is shown the secrets of the heavens, the movements of the stars, and the cycles of time. In one of his most awe-inspiring visions, Enoch is taken to the edge of the cosmos, where he sees the eternal fires of judgment and the realms where the souls of the righteous and the wicked will reside after death. His detailed descriptions of these celestial places add a cosmic dimension to his prophecies, emphasizing the interconnectedness of the divine, the natural world, and the fate of humanity. The Book of Enoch's prophecies are not just a warning about impending doom. They also carry a message of hope and redemption. Even as Enoch witnesses the destruction of the wicked, he is also given the promise that righteousness will prevail. The faithful will be rewarded, and a new era of peace and harmony will begin. In this sense, Enoch's visions are a reminder that even in the face of chaos and destruction, there is always the possibility of renewal and divine justice. Through his prophecies, Enoch offers a glimpse into a future where the balance between good and evil is restored, and the divine plan for humanity is fulfilled. His visions continue to inspire and challenge readers, inviting them to reflect on the nature of judgment, the consequences of rebellion, and the ultimate triumph of righteousness. The Book of Enoch, despite being excluded from most official biblical canons, had a profound influence on early Christianity and other religious traditions. Its vivid descriptions of heavenly beings, cosmic battles, and prophetic visions resonated deeply with early Jewish and Christian thinkers, shaping their understanding of divine judgment, the afterlife, and the ultimate fate of humanity. Though largely forgotten in the West for centuries, its legacy persisted, leaving a significant mark on theology, literature, and religious thought. In early Christianity, the Book of Enoch was regarded with respect and curiosity, especially in the first few centuries of the faith. Early church fathers such as Tertullian and Origen were familiar with its teachings, and it is clear that the New Testament authors were influenced by its themes. The Epistle of Jude even directly quotes from the Book of Enoch, referencing Enoch's prophecy about the Lord coming with 10,000 of his holy ones to execute judgment on the wicked. This strong apocalyptic vision, which mirrors themes from the Book of Revelation, suggests that the early Christian community saw Enoch's writings as authoritative, or at least influential in understanding the end times. The influence of the Book of Enoch is also evident in the development of Christian angelology and demonology. The stories of the Watchers, fallen angels who descend to earth and corrupt humanity, provide a narrative framework that shaped Christian ideas about Satan, fallen angels, and the origins of evil in the world. Enoch's detailed descriptions of heavenly hierarchies, cosmic battles, and the final judgment contributed to early Christian conceptions of spiritual warfare and the battle between good and evil forces. Beyond Christianity, the Book of Enoch also left its mark on other religious traditions, especially within Judaism. While it was not included in the Hebrew Bible, it was widely read and respected within certain Jewish sects, particularly those associated with the Dead Sea Scrolls found at Qumran. The Essenes, a Jewish sect that lived around the time of Jesus, revered the Book of Enoch as part of their apocalyptic worldview. The Dead Sea Scrolls contain several fragments of Enochic literature, highlighting its importance in shaping Jewish mystical and apocalyptic thought during the Second Temple period. Additionally, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church remains one of the few Christian traditions that consider the Book of Enoch canonical. To this day, Ethiopian Christians regard it as a sacred text, and it has been preserved in its entirety in the Guizi language. This unique position within Ethiopian Christianity speaks to the book's lasting spiritual and theological significance outside the Western Christian tradition. The Book of Enoch's influence is not limited to religious texts and doctrines. It has also inspired a wide range of artistic, literary, and esoteric traditions throughout history. From medieval mysticism to Renaissance art, the themes of fallen angels, divine judgment, and cosmic battles have found expression in various forms. The book has also sparked interest among modern scholars, mystics, and spiritual seekers who are drawn to its hidden knowledge and apocalyptic visions. In summary, the Book of Enoch's influence on early Christianity, Judaism, and other traditions is undeniable. Its stories of divine rebellion, apocalyptic judgment, and the mysteries of the cosmos have shaped religious thought for millennia. Though often hidden from mainstream religious texts, its legacy endures, offering profound insights into humanity's relationship with the divine and the ultimate fate of the world. Whether viewed as a sacred text or a mystical curiosity, the Book of Enoch continues to captivate the imaginations of those who seek to understand the deeper mysteries of faith, creation, and judgment.